ready to go.
Welcome everybody to another Monday morning meeting for TeleHealth today. I am James Hongs. I have a special host for this meeting today. I'm going to let Warner introduce her. Before I do, I just wanted to tell anybody listening at home, if you have a special talent you'd like to share with the world doing online consultations, reach out to me, reach out to my company. Maybe we can let you host a meeting. We can get you on the website. Right now it's free. And we're looking to always network and grow, and that's what we're doing here. And so Warner, please introduce our guests, and looking forward to today's meeting. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, James. I'm so happy to introduce Dewi today. I will skip the second name because it's very hard for me to pronounce it, but Dewi will do that in a minute. I am so happy that Dewi is here. She is very interesting and excellent person from Indonesia. She was a journalist. I think she is still a journalist for some contracts, but her main job is now virtual assistant. But more than that, she's also counseling and helping virtual assistants in her country and all over the world to stay healthy, to have a better work-life balance, and to, maintain healthy as a virtual assistant. She has a special program for this. She just started this year. And yeah, she will introduce that to us and what she's doing. And I'm so happy that I know Dewi for a couple of months now. She was also part of the Tech One programs. Now she's part of Tech One. And so, I give you the stage. Dewi, please go ahead and introduce yourself and your new AXA Academy Indonesia. We are looking forward to that.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Werner, for introducing me. And thank you, James, and also Alexander. It's an honor for me to be here in TeleHealth today's weekly meeting. My name is Dewi. I'm from Indonesia. I live in a suburban city in Banten, South Tangerang. So today I will talk to you about maintaining virtual assistant well-being for a healthy business, since I've been doing this for several years now. And I really want to spread the words that as a virtual assistant or freelancers, digital nomad, you name it, you don't have to face everything alone, and you can also have a very support system. Okay, let's get started. So my name is Dewi. I have a professional background as a former journalist, writer, and researcher, and now I am pursuing my passion as a virtual assistant, mentor, and also an entrepreneur. So during my 10 years of work experience, I have observed that people working in creative industries are quite prone to stressors and frustration. So therefore, I am eager to provide support and facilitate them with the skill set that will help them thrive as a healthy individuals. So today we will discuss about virtual assistant well-being, which is most importantly for me is highly important, because virtual assistant is helping entrepreneurs, business owners, or companies to run a healthy business. So before we start, I want to have a short introduction about virtual assistant. So what is virtual assistant? A virtual assistant is a self-employed worker who provides administrative, technical, creative assistance to clients remotely from a home office. So a virtual assistant can perform tasks such as answering phone calls, event planning, scheduling appointments, managing social media account, digital marketing, branding strategy, and also many other things. So usually clients hire a virtual assistant to focus more on important tasks, to increase productivity, cost effectiveness, and also flexibility. So I see that virtual assistants have a promising roles. Becoming a remote worker such as freelancer or virtual assistant can have numerous benefits. So studies since 2020 have shown that companies are adopting remote work models, which are expected to grow to around 81% in 2024. This is according to AT&T study. And there are up to around 25,000 virtual assistants around the world working remotely. with almost 30 million freelancers spread across online platforms like Upwork, Fiverr, Freelancer, etc. So as you can see here, the global virtual assistant market keeps on increasing with 12% of acceleration on compound annual growth rate. And you can also see this data that it has incremental growth around 4.12 billion US dollars. The market is fragmented with several players occupying the market, and it has a very positive sentiment. While the number is promising, that leads us to the real problem, which is the question is, how do these entry-level virtual assistants adapt in the disruptive period? Because I believe that virtual assistants also have to maintaining mental health and well-being so they can serve the clients with a better quality of services. But first, let's talk about remote working myths. So there are 5 popular remote working myths that I want to discuss shortly. The first one is that remote working hurts productivity. The second myth is that remote workers are stress-free. The third one, remote work is a waste of money. The fourth one, remote working is not sustainable. And the last one, it is very hard to find a remote work opportunity. So the facts are, the first one, remote working actually doesn't hurt productivity. So on the contrary, at least 94% of surveyed employees report that company productivity has increased up to 27% since employees started working remotely. And the second fact, remote workers are also prone to stress, feeling isolated, clueless, and frustrated with work, and having lack of support system. The third myth is that remote working is a waste of money, which is a big false. We can see the example that IBM, also known as the Big Blue Company, saved approximately 50 million US dollars by hiring remote workers. And another fact is that the average employees can cost around 18,000 US dollar per year in office space. So you can imagine the efficiency of remote working. And the fourth fact, remote working is not sustainable. While the truth is, remote work definitely environmentally friendly. It can reduce commuter miles by up to 140 billion per year and also lessen greenhouse gas emission. And the last one, it's very hard to find a remote work opportunity, which is false. Because one thing we should note that remote work is here to stay. Google Trends and also a few sources that I've read even shows that demand for remote workers is increasing every year. So that means there are huge opportunities for virtual assistant freelancers or digital nomads to keep this phase of work and keep having a stable income. But again, the real problem is how to maintain the well-being well-being of a virtual assistant for a healthy business. Because as you can see, if the virtual assistant is healthy, not just physically, but mentally, so they can help the entrepreneurs or companies much better way. So during the past few years, I have found a few problems arise for virtual assistant or remote workers in general, particularly in the early stage of transition or during the journey. So usually the VA that I interview and also I communicate with them, they said that they feel their lack of direction. That's leading to confusion, of course, a lack of confidence, mental fatigue, demotivation, and often leading to early stages of anxiety and depression. These problems in the long run affect their quality of sleep, diet, and life in general. So some of them even said to me that they experience psychosomatic symptoms, which is nothing is that it's not easy at all to deal with on a daily basis. So these are 3 main problems that I've compiled from my community. The first one is confusion. So as an entry-level remote worker, usually confusion often occurs, causing brain fog and inability to focus on what truly matters. And the second problem, the big problem, is lack of confidence. So someone, VA, my friends, they have lots and lots of experience. They have even decades of experiences as an account executive, as a accountant manager, as you name it, as a director and so forth. But when they started to be a virtual assistant, they feel that they cannot do anything. They have lack of confidence. So I think this is because building skills takes time. And during the process, confidence is urgently needed to embrace the dynamics of learning by doing. So this is the second problem that I address in my community. And the third one is mental block. Because after some time, remote workers are prone also to mental blocks and feeling uninspired, when in fact, they really need creativity and innovation to work. So there are a few pain points that I want to address here for these entry-level virtual assistant, whether they have years and years of career gaps or if they are transitioning from full-time on-site work. They usually experience a few pain points, such as 60% of them is figuring out how it works the first time, obviously. 10% of them struggling with digital literacy, 20% of them feeling isolated, and 10% of them feeling disconnected from themselves. This is based on approximately 150 virtual assistant and freelancers around the community in my country. So then I decided to launch my business earlier this year. Even though I already practicing as a student advisor, as a virtual assistant or freelancer mentor for several years, but I really wanted to be a learning hub community. So not just by myself and I mentoring these virtual assistant, but I want to collaborate with them because I believe that the power of collaboration. So AXA Academy Indonesia, we have a vision to learn and apply new skills to work remotely while also following our utmost passion. And our mission, of course, to increase self-confidence, as pinpointed in the previous slide, as the big problem. And also utilize current work experiences to begin working remotely, because I believe we always have another chance to use our potential, to use our experiences, and we don't have to always start from zero. And also create a visible strategy for personal branding. The 3 key points for solutions that I offer revolve around these 3 topics. The first one is well-being. So I'm focusing on mind framing skills, personal development, especially to shift mindset, and for these virtual assistant to have more positive mental attitude, and also brainstorming for actionable steps and doable strategy to reach personal goals. And the second one is core skills. So we're gonna learn together and exercise for preferred materials needed as a remote worker and have the practices as part of our portfolio. So it's not just one-way webinars or workshop, but it's totally interactive, and we will have assignments and practices for our portfolio. And the third main topic is personal branding, of course, because we have to understand ourselves better. And to be able to create a solid personal branding, we have to showcase skills and experiences as a virtual assistant, while also being an authentic self and staying true to oneself. So I always believe that we don't have to create a new persona or a new personality for personal branding. We can always be ourselves, but in a much better way, and strategize so we can offer skills and services as a virtual assistant in a healthy and sustainable way. Okay, and now we got to the solutions that I'm offering. So there's a few solutions, a few strategy that I've been offering for a few years now, or at least for 2 years. That is, the first one is self-assessment. So if someone wants to join AXA Academy Indonesia, they have to fill out the self-assessment form. This is to help to learn more about themselves, to know more about their passions, their true calling, and their life goals, so we can help them better. And the second step is that after they fulfill the self-assessment form, we will have like a free session to determine whether they need mentoring or coaching straightly after filling the form, or they just want to explore the workshop or talk to the people in the community and so forth. And I also offer them workbooks and practical exercises related to the pain points, and a few solutions, also personalized emotional support group, lifetime access to community and learning materials, webinars, personal development, regular discussion, career, work recommendation, and the last one, referrals to therapists if needed, because I also collaborate with my psychologist, and he can refer if someone in our community might need a therapist for a long run. Okay, so these are our activities, both offline and online. So we have regular discussion, as you can see, scheduled mentoring and coaching session, webinars, workshop. We also have assignments for portfolio, story time in support group sharing session. This is usually the most popular activity, story time in a support group, because then our fellow virtual assistant can share what they really feel at the moment, particularly if they feel like they didn't get any clients for several months, or they are stressed out because of the project and so forth. And I also open to be their listener to give emotional support. So I think this is the most important one. People want to join us not because we offer hard skills or offering workshops and classes, but to be honest, people join us to have like a supportive community and to practice this personal development, because not every online course or platform to learn online offer this kind of emotional support. So I strongly believe that if we help each other and we collaborate with each other, we can give a much better service, and also we can support so many business owners and also companies to run a healthy business. As for testimonials, so over a year of my practice as a student advisor on a virtual assistant online course, I received hundreds of positive reviews. So these reviews highlighted not only the development of hard skills and positive learning experiences, but also a deeper understanding and solution-oriented approach to psychological problems that often arise during the course. This occurred after I implemented certain methods for, like team bonding, weekly sharing sessions, mindfulness routines, mindset framing skills, and anything else related to the students' well-being. So this practice that we've been doing together aim to enable them to thrive as a successful virtual assistant, of course, with healthy boundaries and mindfulness for their mental, emotional, physical, and also spiritual health. So as you can see, I have two highlighted testimonials from Maya. She's an entrepreneur and a virtual assistant herself. She experienced quite intense like anxiety and confusion when she started as a virtual assistant. And also I have this Siswati. She's an MD, Doctor of Medicine, and also virtual assistant. And she needs a lot of help, support, and encouragement during the course. And I think that these people, despite the obstacles and the challenges, they are really eager to learn, and they're really eager to grow and to have new skills. So I think that I can support them not just with the hard skills, but especially with the soft skills. Okay, so yeah, we are having this navigating a healthy mind and passionate life as a virtual assistant, as I explained before, working remotely as a virtual assistant, and in every profession, of course, have their own challenges. However, we can always find a way to optimize and make the most of everything. And I always believe that our passion is what we truly want to do in our lives. So if we know our passion and we know our values, we can understand our values, and then we can know how to offer them to the people around us and also to the rest of the world. So in order for me to understand this virtual assistant community, I think I encourage them to pursue this path if they are really sure about it and if they want to work it out. It's never too late to try something new or to embark on a career transformation as long as we have the skills needed to navigate. So this includes everything we need to understand about our minds, our overall health, and our mission as individuals. Because I also believe that knowing ourselves better opens the door to so many opportunities, transformative opportunities that may lead to greater success. And now we have this one quote. This is from my favorite American author, Zig Ziglar, that once said, "You are the only person on earth who can use your ability." So I strongly believe that each of us have our own specialty, our own uniqueness with our profession and business. So we can contribute to the world with our value, our passionate work. And that means we can work harmoniously, collaborate with each other, just like we do in TeleHealth today, in Tech One, and in any other community as well. Okay, this is the end of my presentation. Let's get connected. If you are looking for a virtual assistant to streamline your business or just want to chit chat and have a virtual coffee time to discuss what's on your mind lately and have an insightful conversation, don't hesitate to reach me out. You can reach me through my email here, LinkedIn, Instagram, WhatsApp, and also you can scan the QR code for a few options to connect. So thank you for your attention, and please feel free to ask if you have any question. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And the people can also connect with you on TeleHealth today. And this is a really great opportunity since I know you started this academy this year. And it's still in Indonesian language, I guess in Bahasa or maybe other languages. But for those who don't know this language and still want your expertise and want to reach out to you, they can reach out on TeleHealth today and make a one-on-one program with you in English, right? So this is also the reason why you're here on TeleHealth today. And we are very happy that you're here and your expertise is enormous. So how many virtual assistants did you meet during the last years as a student advisor? So with how many virtual assistants did you work and have you spoken? So yeah, what is the number right now?
The number is around 200 virtual assistants. Yeah, but I only talk intensely with around 150 of them. So left 50, it's not that intense, but we know each other.
And do you work only with virtual assistants or other remote workers? So if there's another remote worker has this was touched now by your presentation and has similar problems, can he or she also reach out to you via TeleHealth today, for example, and get your expertise and your recommendations?
Also, I'm open to have a free session because I have a few DMs on Instagram. A few people from Africa, like Nigeria and Southeast Asia, also approach me and ask if I open webinars or workshop in English, or opening a session to share their problems, or when they want to start as a virtual assistant and they need to have a guidance. So I still open for the opportunity to do that. Yeah.
Great. Now you can route them to TeleHealth today and they can reach out to you via TeleHealth today. Great. But I guess there are more questions from the audience. So the floor is open for questions and the discussion.
Yeah, I can go. That was an awesome presentation, by the way. Thank you for being here. That was.
Thank you, James. Yeah, thank you for having me. Yeah.
And when I like the way you ended, where you talk about everybody has a uniqueness and the ability and their own abilities. I mean, that's what telehealth today wants to embrace, is people's uniqueness, to get them out there and share their hidden talent with the world. So that is very cool. I do have a few questions. So one of them is, so your ideal client is a virtual assistant. And I'll also let me add as well that you know, telehealth today is new and embracing on some of the things that are on the rise. Emotional support is one, virtual assistance is another. I truly believe that is going to be a big and popular category that will help carry this company in the future, because I kind of felt a lot of those stats that you showed in the beginning of this presentation, and I can just see that it is out there, especially COVID just propelled it. But yeah, I think that's really cool. But so, all right, so my first question would be, if there's a company that needs a virtual assistant, is that something you do as well? Do you work as a VA or strictly as a coach? And then, or maybe you do a referral? Do you like refer it out to somebody that would do that?
Okay. Yeah, I personally work as a virtual assistant myself. I have a few clients around the world at the moment, and I also can refer my students and my colleagues if there's entrepreneurs or companies that might need a virtual assistant. So yeah, I can do that.
Okay, very good. And I suppose you're even classifying or categorizing some of the virtual assistants that you're running into. Yeah, this is a very unique and cool business. So yeah, no, I appreciate it, you sharing that with us. And it's like, yeah, especially for entrepreneurs or people that stay busy, it's like delegate or die. So you got to get yourself a virtual assistant. It's the way of the world and where everything is going. Yeah, so I guess that's it for now. I'll let somebody else go. But yeah, thank you again. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, thank you, James.
Yeah.
More questions? If not, I would have a question. So David, from our side of the perspective, so not from the virtual assistant side, but from the entrepreneurs or online worker perspective, there are a lot of people, and particularly I know also in Germany and in German-speaking countries, virtual assistants are not very common, and the people still fear to employ or to contract virtual assistants. So if you're unsure, but you want to start because you believe that could be really a solution for you, what do you recommend? What is the first step to start with a virtual assistant? What should an entrepreneur or an online worker take care of if he or she starts with a virtual assistant? What is the first step? What are the do's and don'ts?
Okay, that's a good question. Thank you, Werner. So in my side as an entrepreneur, I also struggling to find like a trusted or qualified virtual assistant for certain services. So I usually look for their online presence, like how they active on LinkedIn, on Instagram, and their portfolio, of course, because then we will know their experiences, their skill set. So I think it's highly important for us to look for a virtual assistant who truly have a strong online presence on LinkedIn, on Instagram. And when you see the portfolio, you can see the pattern, like you can see the personality of the virtual assistant, you can see their experiences, their interests in the portfolio. So then you will consider that, okay, this VA is for me. This I can work with her or him, or that we have the common interests, so we shall work together and so forth. So the do's and don'ts are, don't ever recruit a virtual assistant who are not active on social media or have less online presence or visibility, and always see for their portfolio, how many projects, and you can do the trial test for a few days, so you don't have to hire them as soon as possible. You can give like a few days or maybe 24 or 48 hours of work for them to prove their experiences to you. So then you will know that, okay, these VAs really have the capabilities to work as a VA. So that's a few things that you might want to consider if you want to hire a virtual assistant. Yeah.
Great. Are there other questions?
I have one more. Let's say there's a seasoned VA that is pretty good in their line of work. Let's say, for the sake of an example, that they specialize in, one direct field, let's say nurses per se. VA only works with nurses. And maybe they've been in the game long enough, they feel they don't really need counseling. It'd be nice if they ever need it. So my question would be, do they have a place in your organization where they don't really need counseling at this moment? They might be open to it later, but at the moment they just want to put themselves out there for referrals from nurses, let's just say. So basically they would come to you and say, hey, if anybody is a nurse and they want a VA, can you refer me? Is that something you do, and how would you go about taking care of that person?
Okay. Actually, I have a few virtual assistant who works in medical field and medicine industry for nurses, for doctors, and they don't need any consulting or mentoring at the moment. So we just, like casually talk in the groups and having a casual discussion, and they didn't need mentoring or coaching. So I also open to that opportunity as well, because I believe that if you need that kind of coaching or mentoring, I can offer it to you. But if you don't need, we still a big supportive community for you to look for clients, and for clients also if you want to look for virtual assistant. Yeah.
Okay, so any VA whatsoever is welcome at your community and welcome to some of the free things that you have to offer as well.
Yeah, we are welcome.
That's good. That's nice. And then also, is your community open to people that use VAs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the near future, we want to open the opportunity to collaborate with companies or entrepreneurs that might need a specific virtual assistant. So we are not just a learning hub. We are also a community and also a place where you can look for trusted virtual assistant and trusted clients, something like that.
Yeah, I really like the discussion. How is it going? Because I never have thought about this, but today I came to my mind. It would be also good to have courses and the training center for companies and entrepreneurs how to deal with virtual assistants, right? So what if it doesn't work? How can I instruct, or if everything is working good, and so on, right? So for both sides, it's good to have an academy, not only for the virtual assistants, but also for the entrepreneurs who employ virtual assistants. So I know there are some organizations, but maybe not so focused as you are, and also not in that direction. So I think maybe really it would be good to have also courses for us, for our side.
Yeah. I think as an entrepreneur myself, I also need this kind of courses,
Yeah.
So yeah, in the near future, I will try to offer that. But for now, we are focusing more on the virtual assistant. Yeah.
Dimitri, yes, please.
Question.
Hi. Yeah.
Hi. Good presentation.
Thank you.
Although the theme is telehealth today and healthcare, this question just dawned on me. At a certain point, if one's practice grows, there'll come a time where one may need somebody with administrative capacities to do accounting and financials. So with that being said, how many VAs, virtual assistants, are involved in double entry bookkeeping and accounting? Like how much of them out there would you say?
Okay. In my community or overall?
Both. Your experience.
Okay. From my experiences, half of the community working as a accountant, so they can handle, like bookkeeping, administrative tasks, and so forth. And the other half is in the creative industry, like digital marketing, social media, copywriting, and so forth. So if you're looking for a virtual assistant who can do like bookkeeping, accounting, something related with numbers, you can also find a lots of virtual assistant out there who are actually offering services like bookkeeping, administrative, and particularly something related with accounting and tax. Also taxes, yeah.
I see. That's good to know. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Dimitri.
I was surprised by half. That's a big number, but I believe it. And then that made me think of one other question. So how many? No. So do you also consider cold callers as virtual assistants, or have you touched into that? Because that's another one that I see on the rise. There's a lot of VAs that do strictly cold calling, B2B, B2C, set appointment setters, that sort of thing. Do you guys touch on that as well?
Yeah, we have a few virtual assistant who works in sales and lead generation, and they have this task like creating cold email, cold calling, cold proposal, and so forth. So yeah, we have that too. Apparently, yeah.
Good. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Hi, Devi. It's a nice
Hi.
presentation. I'm
Hi.
Dr. Mama.
Hi, Umama.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
So I wanted to ask, like, if a doctor wants to use your services on a platform like general questions we can ask, and you'll be able to answer them for the patient, and then they come back to us with their history. Will it be a possibility that some basic general questions are asked with the patient first, and then they come to the physician with their history and the details that they need, so it will save the time for them?
Okay. Thank you, Mama, for the question. Yeah, it's very possible since a few of my fellow virtual assistant is also, as you can see before, is a doctor, nurses, and a few of them working in the pharmaceutical industry. So I think they have this knowledge, they have the background work experiences in medical or in health health niche. So if you're looking for a virtual assistant who can help to streamline these kind of services, you can also find it in our community as well. Yeah.
And we can integrate AI in it so that they can, customize specific questions for specific patients.
Yeah.
Is it
We can
possible?
use AI as well. Yeah.
All right, great. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, I think AI is a very important part of the education of VAs today. And there are even VAs, they fear that AI will take their jobs, right? But we discussed this very open that there is no need to fear that. But what is your take on AI? So what will AI take over and what will the virtual assistants do? So how do you see the future of virtual assistants and AI and how they will work together?
Okay. So this is one topic that also has been a hot topics in my community as well. So many people in my country afraid that their roles will be replaced by AI, but I don't agree with that. I personally think that AI is there to help us to make everything easier, to make everything more effective and efficient, but not to replace our roles as a human, because as smart as a machine AI really is, they cannot replace a perfect human being with the real brain and the real skills and so forth. So yeah, we can ask for AI help, we can utilize these AI tools, but they will never replace our roles as a human. And that's my take on it. Yeah.
Right. Dr. Mama, do you have another question, or Dimitri or somebody else?
No, I think she already
Okay.
answered. Thank you.
Great.
Thank you. So actually, if I can share a bit of my story behind Aksa Academy Indonesia. So from childhood, I was raised by my mother, who is a teacher up until now. So I have this kind of like closeness with education world, with the academics, the schools, and so forth. So when I was a kid, I want to create like a school. I want to build a school, or like informal schools for people to learn skills, like a private course or something, but offline. But I didn't really realize that this is my childhood dream up until I joined the Tech One with 12-week challenge with Werner. And then I thought, well, I have this kind of like childhood passion that's been buried down. And when I try to work as a virtual assistant after a few years as a freelancer and a decade as a journalist, and then I realized that why not? So during the 12-week challenge, we learn in a very positive community. We have the complete guidance from Werner, and then we can finally bravely create our own, like business or startup, or just simply execute the ideas that's been in our thoughts for so long. So I highly recommend it if you want to look for it too. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes we have dreams very long, and then we need to have the right course or right situation where we start building it and bring it together with our current job, and then combine our current job or situation with our childhood dreams, right? Yeah. Yeah, good. And since you're doing this in Indonesia and you didn't have the international platform, then I thought maybe TeleHealth Today is good for
Yeah.
you. And yeah, now you're here and can offer this in English too. Great.
Yeah. Thank you for having me. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if there are no further questions, we can even make it shorter. What do you think? But we can also discuss it further as you like. We can do both. But if there are no further questions, maybe we even can close the session. Or what do you think?
Yeah, no, yeah, sounds good. There was great presentation. And just to touch on what was just said, I would wager if you wanted a job as a VA, spend a day or two learning AI, and I feel you could do that as a VA. And I feel that category or that demand will go up 300% over the next year or two if we watch. So that's my little wager. We can come back to this in a year or two. We can say, Dewey, how much does that increase? But that would be my guess. That would be a lot. So yeah, no, I think it's cool. I think I think all of us here are doing, showing where the future is going, and it's good. So yeah, thank you. I'll let you close it out, Dewey. You can just give your final statements, and then we'll just close out with you, I guess, if nobody else has anything.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. So just one closing statement for me. If you feel that you hear something that's been calling you, your true calling, you should follow it no matter what may be the obstacles or the challenges or the consequences, because that's what we do here as a virtual assistant and also as individuals. So never afraid to follow your dreams, your true calling, and also collaborate in a very supportive community like this TeleHealth Today. Thank you.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Dewey.
Take care.
Yeah, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thanks,
Have a good
guys.
day.